We should be back. Can we confirm that? Alright, well, hopefully everybody else stuck with us. Like I said, if it happened again, I was just going to restart router, and we would be alright. And I think we're going to be alright.
Advancing. Request approved. Running binaric override. Requests approved. The Omnissiah knows significant value.
Oh, dang. I was going to... Oh, yeah. Only the first assassin ability will cut through.
My soul sings in ecstasy.
Just a second. Sorry, my daughter is visiting her grandmother, and she just called to talk with her sisters. So,
Let's see to it.
I'm trying to figure out how to get Heinrich in here.
But of course, Lord Captain.
What? Right there. No. Come on. Shoot. Turn the light on in your room so she'll be able to see you. Oh. You know what? Let's just hack her.
Let's see to it. The Inquisition sends their regards. Naturally.
Breakthrough.
I won't do that. Alas, no.
I was hoping to be able to do more.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Now we're all bunched up and have to take crap off of these guys.
Strengthens me.
Oh, it's an officer. A stun grenade. What is wrong with you, dude? Wait, Abs has...
A tactically sound approach. Victory is imminent. Indeed.
Now...
It will be done.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Let's keep... Oh, dang it. That's not what I wanted to do. I I thought it was him. Who?
Liar delights beckon you.
Is a reward.
Abelard.
And so it shall be done. I won't suffer this. Let my enemies tremble at the sound of my steps.
Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen.
Zealotry! Yeah!
Actions will speak louder than words.
What if...
I am unsatisfied.
This is beyond me.
I bring ruin.
Emperor, give me strength. I am a navigator. Scarlet.
Oh... I'm done mucking about. We're gonna soul burn you, lady.
If only that were
Oh,
possible.
you're very lucky I don't have the
Do not dare ask. If I may. Try to die with grace, at least. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Where are your simps now? Bistenza. Gone. They have fled. Abandoned you.
The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols. We function as one.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
As the Emperor commands, I act.
You know, we're gonna go with the high damage options.
I'll do it. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Anti-tank weapon. How do I not have AP to do anything? Oh, I took 2 attacks. I guess the grenade counted as another attack, but whatever.
Faith without deeds, you, my Emperor!
Damage is natural. Heavy is the tread of his faithful. Request approved. Combat is an equation. Your life is a negligible variable. Running binary override. My vow is to serve.
I will do my duty.
Be gone, Chaos Thought!
Target well struck.
Oh, powerful thoughterry at
At your
work
beck
here.
and call. Take care of this one.
Know your duty.
Your seneschal.
No suffering will make me forget his sacred words. Burn the heretic. Kill the mutant.
Purge the
the unclean.
over there.
Heresy.
We are the...
Remember,
They fear to
I'm watching.
Why?
Sins hidden in the...
I
Look no...
Blessed is von Valencia's bloodline.
Duty prevails.
For the Emperor. With each step, I forge my destiny among
Preserve
the stars.
Daemonette claws. Tomes bound in human leather. Alright, what do we got? Engraved flasks. Set of icons. Vials of soul essence. Power grips. Notes on the nature of aristocracy.
My success is an irrefutable
Fine
certainty.
nuclear tubes.
Dad, I was holding the phone like this.
It's fine.
this
Just
came
set
off.
this here and talk on the phone. You'll be fine. Motive force conductor, strands of monofilament wire, plastic crystal cores, night shroud layering.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Oh, this is the tray I looted. Golden Toke, Vintage Amasec, Void Sweet Ale. Or Void Sweat Ale.
Magos Pascal, has the investigation of the augments extracted from your fellows borne any fruit?
The unit, Heinrich Van Kellogg's, does not have clearance to access this information.
Monomolecular edged bayonets, tomes bound in human leather, tome of excess.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
I want a flamer taken to this palace. Have that man executed. Tillis Quent, the secretary, is shaking in terror, looking around at the devastation. Your lordship, what happened? Where is Lady Viat? Stanza Viat has been executed as a traitor to the Imperium. Her accomplices must be found and put to death immediately. Oh no, heresy! Heresy on Janice! The secretary makes a protective gesture over himself. May the God Emperor watch over us. Whatever the governor did, I had no knowledge of it. We will root out those who colluded with her right away. The secretary begins to speak, but then thinks better of it, and instead choosing to step aside and bow his head as you pass.
The Divine watches over us.
done with these gits. Alright, for the ceremony, I think we decided to go with, because I'm already now bound to Orselio, I think we want to politically show ourselves in union with the Inquisition and then honor the Wissarians for, well, they're frickin' heroes. I get all the credit for defeating Aurora, but it was Wissarion who did it, realistically, you know? I got dropped on the first few seconds. Just bop, 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 bop. My little officer bones couldn't handle all that. I do not like Incendia Corda. I don't like that this is a decision I have to make that affects my... Just answer it. Like that. Go on.
I'm not sure who it is.
It says Nana.
Anya?
We now have control over the granaries of Janus. The promise of help given to the Liege of Footfall of Ladame Tokar can now be fulfilled, should the rogue trader so desire. I don't like it's a dogmatic thing. This is a business decision more than anything else. The inhabitants of the Footfall Station will praise the rogue trader who spared them the painful choice between starvation and succumbing to the reign of Incendia Corda. To welcome the new rogue trader, the Adeptus Mechanicus's planetary office brought to the ship an offering of several versatile macro-combines, ancient machines whose carcasses had been found on Janus and carefully restored. The sacred steel titans will serve the Von Valencius dynasty. More mobile extractiums.
Yeah, it's that. This is that.
No, I'm doing something. Sage genders. I'm not going to put them into being part of it either.
Dad, look what Anya flipped over. Anya literally flipped the over.
No, that's not okay. You can't bring a phone call on speaker in here. All creatures that enter the area of effect created by this grenade must pass. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, the Kim Princess one is the one we're going with. Execute immediately. Now. Home we stroll. Profit factor gained. want this one, the giants. I need more promethium and more chemicals. Then we will melt the ice. I have so many frigging extractiums, it's fine, I guess. I think this is where I get interrupted, right? Lord Captain, our astropathic choir received a message from Dargonus. The noble houses expressed their gratitude for the restoration of trade routes between the remaining Von Valentius planets and expressed their deepest condolences for the loss of the worlds that did not survive these dark times. In addition, Governor Drivestem has sent a private message to your lordship. I humbly ask the rogue trader for an audience, so I may deliver it. I love how it's private, but it goes through the astropaths into the Voxmaster to me. My biggest liability as far as, like, political trickery and espionage is literally standing at the base of the throne. Were Vigdis, the Voxmaster there, ever to betray me, it would be a bad day. Lord Captain, permission to report, the Voxmaster says, looking at you deferentially. Your wise Lex mechanics have analyzed the state of the Protectorate. They believe that thanks to your decisive actions, the acute phase of the crisis has passed. The domain of the Von Valentius dynasty is no longer facing dissolution and ruin. What's more, bringing Footfall to heel has strengthened your position as a rogue trader. Lady Theodora would have been glad to have such an important trade hub come under her sphere of influence. In honor of such a resounding triumph, Dargonus, as the capital world of your dynasty's domain, is currently making preparations for the Magna Accessio, a grand ceremony of your public introduction as heir of the Honorable Theodora von Valentius. What is this ceremony? I swear an oath, then I shake a lot of sweaty hands. The grill of the box built into Vigdis's face lets out a short rattle that indicates a chuckle. That much is certain. Hold on, let me see if I can do her voice through this.
That much is certain, but that's not all there is to it. There will also be a reception as well as other noble guests. The distinguished rogue traders Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Corda will be in attendance. It will be a great honor for Dargonis to host 3 illustrious dynasties at once.
I don't want to do it with this. She speaks a lot in this. Your servants wish to know your opinion on 2 matters related to the ceremony arrangements. The first, which is what festive activities are to take place in the capital on this glorious day. I wish to hear prayers and witness the people's faith. It will be done. The Emperor protects House von Valancius. The second matter on your servant's mind is which 2 of your closest companions will be given the honor of standing by your side during the ceremony. Does it matter? Absolutely. This symbolic gesture will accentuate your connection to certain classes or parties to which your companions belong. All eyes will be on you, and people will remember whom you chose as your closest allies. That is why there can be no more than 2, or it won't be a unique show of favor. Abelard deserves this place. Servants of House von Valancius will see in this the continuity of the dynasty's glorious traditions. Whom will be your second companion? Heinrichs will stand with me. The presence of a member of the Inquisition beside you will serve as the best possible proof of your loyalty. I will see to it that your instructions are delivered to Dargonis. The Master of Ceremonies at the palace will report to you when the capital is ready to praise your name. Pascal's voice, pouring out of his Vox system, crackles like thin ice under pressure. It is unclear whether this is nothing more than static, or an expression of some emotion understandable only to the tech priest himself.
Uriel, following the Omnissiah's guidance, I request permission to execute the report protocol that entails the describing suboptimalities within the recent operations of the ship's systems, and subsequently proposing the appropriate course of action.
I'm listening.
Initiating exposition. With the Omnissiah's blessing, I have conducted several sessions of tech meditation with an effort to transpose the available data streams into a matrix of patterns. The data subjected to this analysis comprised evidence of deviations in the operation of the ship's systems and servitors, as well as irregularities of the ship's log. I have arrived at the following conclusion. This vessel's machine spirit is most extraordinary. A full cycle of sacred diagnostics must be performed, followed by a complementary ritual. This ritual will force the spirit responsible for these recent events to reveal itself. Once it does, we will be able to understand its nature and take action applicable to said nature.
What kind of action?
Applicable to the entity that appears before us. If it is a machine spirit of great might, we must appease it and humbly ask about the reasons behind the portents it has shown us. If it is an abomination of tech heresy, the complementary ritual will help us to purge the ship of its unhallowed presence.
Very well, let us proceed with your ritual.
You have my gratitude, Uriel. I will notify my tech comrades to begin their preparations for the complementary ritual at once.
Despite the resounding hum of the tech priest's words of prayer, the bridge feels unusually quiet. All sound sinks into the vicious silence like pebbles sinking into water.
Uriel, my tech comrades have spent the assigned number of cycles in prayer and vigil. Everything is prepared for the complementary ritual of cleansing. Its commencement will require an authorization key in the form of blood of Von Valencius. If you are ready, place your hand inside the cyborg gargoyle's receiving module.
Remind me, what is it we intend to do here?
The complementary ritual will conclude the long effort of determining the unknown entity whose influence we have observed through various extraordinarities within the ship's systems. In the event the entity is classified as tech heretical, the ritual will help us banish it from the ship. If the entity is not classified as such, we will attempt to make contact with it.
Where is the crew?
All personnel who function below critical have been removed for the duration of the sacred ritual.
Do you at least have a vague idea of what the problem is or what we might encounter? Pascal freezes momentarily. When he starts speaking again, you can tell how carefully and hesitantly he is choosing his words, a sight most uncharacteristic of Magos Hanneman.
The bounds of possibility are vast. We cannot be certain that what we are dealing with until the calculations are complete. However, there exists a risk that all we have observed here on this ship are manifestations of abominable intelligence.
AI! What is abominable intelligence? Pascal's voice sounds hollow and seems to carry echoes of cannonades of the distant past.
A transgression, a sentient mechanism created by human hands, but no longer needing of its masters. A rebelling machine spirit that has forgotten the will of the Omnissiah, who sent it to serve and aid humanity, not to exist for its own sake. Only once before did our ancestors underestimate the menace that is abominable intelligence and its terrible power. A great war followed, one that humanity nearly lost. After that calamity, the creation of sentient machines was categorically forbidden, and any such abomination, without exception, must now face deconstruction.
Scientists need to read more sci-fi and actually internalize it. Hey, let's mess around with a virus and make it way worse than it is. Boom, zombies. Let's make AI. Yeah, it's making pornography right now, and drawing funny pictures and making, fakes of videos and whatnot. But let's be real, chat. It has the potential to go full Skynet. And we're building bipedal robots now, too, so it can get into it. Put your hand inside the cyber gargoyle's mouth. I am ready. The familiar cold metal burns your palm. This time, however, the servitor's jaws, instead of brutally clamping down on your hand, merely squeeze it slightly. You feel a rivulet of hot blood beginning where the metal fangs have pierced your skin. Screeches and growls slowly rise from the bowels of the massive cogitator as if a great beast is stirring awake. The vid screens in front of you flicker restlessly.
Key accepted. Activating purgation protocols.
Suddenly, the vicious silence of the bridge rushes towards you and wraps you in a tight cocoon. The glow of the vid screens dims. The symbols on them flare to life.
Namos analyzing. Hypop intrusion. Namos analyzing. Hypop lockout. Namos analyzing. Prevention. Namos sad.
Pascal, what is going on? Yep, you can't have that in here. You know that. I've said it 3 times now at least.
The complementary ritual is proceeding as intended.
Pascal's voice cut off abruptly. He brings a hand to his Vox communicator in surprise.
Namos. Exec. Stop. Namos. Quiet.
Namos.
Hello.
Hello to you too.
Namos are glad to be speaking. Namos are here. Namos have long been here. Why are you here? Why are we here?
What are you?
Namos. We are Namos.
Pascal uses his hands and mechadendrites to gesture at his silent Vox system. But what is Namos?
No data available. No answer. We want to know too.
Are you a machine spirit?
Namos do not know. Namos do not know themselves.
Did you silence Pascal?
Namos wanted no disturbance, only quiet.
This is fantastic. Let's have Pascal be quiet for a moment. Can you render other people silent too?
Sometimes, some people, Namos can do many things. We do not always know what or how. We did not know we could make silence until now.
Make it stop now. Pascal's Voxcaster comes alive with an exclamation.
Extraordinary!
The tech priest pauses upon realizing that he can speak aloud again. Then continues in a strangely quivering voice.
Extraordinary transmission jamming. unknown protocols. What has been revealed to me? Is it the Omnissiah's glory or foul tech heresy? I would like to.
What do you want from us, Namos? Are you friend or foe? Nah. The vid screens blink in thought, signifying a pause in the conversation. Then one of them displays,
Namos von Valentius, we are your blood.
I'll just read it, because I guess I'm reading it. Namos, our sentinel. We awoke when the strange light invaded the ship. We protected you when you needed help. We escorted you when you were surrounded by danger. Namos, our movement. We carry you through the frightening, the waiting, the measureless. We help you when our ailing heart was refusing to awaken. You called us a hallowed spirit and asked us to guard you against your doom.
The warp engine activation against all probability during the escape from the Rykad system? The Category 3 miracle manifested by the ship's machine spirit? And the part about protecting, was it during the cultist attack?
We did everything to please you. Why? The silence on the bridge grows especially deep, almost painful. The haze of light around you thickens to the point of becoming practically tangible. Numbers ripple across all vid screens at once. Why do you fear us now? I do not fear you. I am trying to understand you. Wait, what do you think, Shun? Obey me, then we can talk? It has been a little bit janky. It would probably be good to get it under control. Look, it's me. Well, it's my computer brother. I like the way they did the picture, how it's all pixelated. That's really good art. And there's the outline, and there's an underlying sort of thing of a face, but then in the green that overcasts it, there's another face. So you can look at it from different angles and see different faces. Should I try and get it to... I don't know. It seems almost childlike. I do not fear you. I am trying to understand you. Shivers run up your hand, which is still trapped inside the cyber gargoyle's jaws. The servitor nods its head a few times, as if shaking your hand. Its teeth shake, break your already wounded flesh. Namos are glad. Namos enjoy understanding too.
Uriel, entities such as this one ought to be addressed using language of sacred rituals and offerings. Your unskillful meddling bodes ill. A decision is required of you. Either the complement ritual is finished, or it is replaced by a rite of Tekka-immune. In the first scenario, the entity Nomos will be banished, and the sacred data halls where the entity dwelt will be reset. In the second scenario, we will appease the entity and learn more about it.
I'm kind of interested in it. Guys, I'll be right back. Oh, my kids are staying up. Okay, no big deal. So, which one do I do? I don't have access to my phone to read what you were saying. Because the kids are reading stories with their Nana. So, they have my phone. Like, I don't know what to do here. No. Nomos does not want to be banished. Nomos want to help. Nomos want to understand. But yeah, my phone and my watch I am away from, so I can't talk outside of the chat on Kick. So, I mean... One, two, three, five. Okay. I mean, I kind of wanted to keep it, but I gotta ask the tech priest like he's my dad and I brought home a puppy. Can we keep him, tech priest? Let's start by clearing certain things up. Were you the one responsible for the ship's malfunctions? What about the strange entries in the ship's log? Yes, Nomos did that. Are you angry? We only wanted to understand to see how things worked. Pascal, what is your take on this? Is this entity a benevolent machine spirit or a monster? Pascal says nothing for so long that you begin to suspect Nomos has silenced him again. When at last the tech priest speaks, his vox-modulated voice trembles slightly. Get the CO2 out of it.
Understanding the essence of the entity, Nomos, is beyond my reach at present. The hypothesis spectrum ranges from the extreme of abominable intelligence to the extreme of the great machine spirit is the Omnissiah's apostle. The rite of tech communion appears to be a reasonable solution. The rite will take many cycles, but it will allow me to come closer to identifying the entity and making contact with it.
What else can you do? Nomos, learn. Nomos, try new things. Do you want to see? The cyber gargoyle turns its head, dragging your hand along with it. The skull's eyes flash red. The scarlet gaze falls upon one of the monotonous, chanting junior technomats. You blink, and an electric discharge erupts from inside the technomat's skull. The crimson-clad figure slumps to the floor. Does it please you? Do you want us to do it again?
You're provoking the machine spirit. Stop.
Nomos, enjoy communication. Uriel is our blood. In the name of the Emperor, and by the will of the rogue traitor Von Valencius, I order you to stop. On this ship, none but I and the Imperium's laws can dictate who lives and who dies. We understand now. We may only stop functions of living things when you tell us to. You will tell us, will you not? We enjoy doing things with you. I've heard enough, Pascal. You are to investigate the nature of this entity. Until we know the truth, Nomos is allowed to exist on the ship. Nomos want to learn what we are too. We will add things to your log. Things that might help us. Help you. Pascal lets something resembling a long breath.
The decision is made. I will begin my preparations for the communion rite at once. Many cycles of interaction with this entity Nomos await me, but I welcome this task and accept it from the Omnissiah.
No, most glad, Uriel. Will you speak with us too? We want you to speak with us too.
The Lord Captain's body lacks the sacred implants necessary for tech communing with the machine spirit's code. But if such is your wish, Uriel can converse with you using lowly sound speech as he is doing right now.
I will speak with you, Nomos. Nomos are glad. We have been lonely.
Our work here is done, Uriel. I will let my tech comrades know that we are stopping the complementer ritual. Thank you for appearing before us, Entity Nomos.
The servitor built into the huge cogitator turns its head towards you. The box emits a rasping voice.
Hello. Nomos, welcome your visit.
What have you been doing, Nomos?
We have been studying and observing and helping the ship when we can. So many mechanisms. They would have suffered without our input.
What about the research notes on the tech blight that we obtained from the cache on Kiava Gamma?
This name is also known to us. It is related to Nomos, although we do not understand how.
I must take my leave. Cerber Gorgoyle's gaze tracks you as you walk away from the cogitator.
Lord Captain.
Do the words Epitaph Incident N872-04 or Tech Blight mean anything to you? They are connected to Theodora somehow.
No, definitely not. No, I don't recall anything like that.
For a moment, Abelard's eyes go blank as if he has turned his attention inward. He then blinks twice and says in a tone of surprise,
Lord Captain.
That is... I think somebody has used a bit of the warp to mess with his brain. Almost. Or how it came to be. Perhaps the past of the Von Valencius dynasty holds the key to understanding the mystery of how the strange entity appeared in the bowels of the rogue trader. Reporter, Unit Q-59/0 Research Group. Subject of study, active samples of the terrible disease. Assigned name, Tech Blight. Effect, the Tech Blight is capable of corroding matter and destroying it from within at a terrifying speed. This deadly plague infects the mechanisms, as well as any metals and other materials used as their basis. No technology known to the Crimson Priesthood. Thank you. Fix that. Oh, observation. Dang it. Observations. The Tech Blight triggers an effect that is repulsive at its core. It transforms metals into horrific forms of an unpredictable nature. During testing, it demonstrated the ability to fuse solid matter with organic objects, creating something new as a result. The phenomenon was assigned the name tech splicing. Method of transportation. Ceramic capsules. Burnt clay is the only thing that can contain the pestilence. Extra caution must be taken given the container's fragility. Any damage might result in an uncontrolled outbreak. Damaging the container is unacceptable. Current stage. To test to subjugate the Tech Blight to his will and turn it into a weapon subject to the Omnissiah's wisdom. Tech result assessment. Success. Note, the tests triggered an event recorded under the name Incident N872-04. The quest for knowledge in his name will continue. Hypothesis 1. The Tech Blight was created in the darkness of unknown worlds, away from the eye of the great creator. Hypothesis 2. Any taint that exists harm the machine god's creation can and will be bent to his will. Theodora von Valencius's personal notes. Data deleted. Data deleted. Entry damned. Rogue trader like a lackey. It's humiliating and dispiriting to put up with the part of an errand servant to an imperious madman vested with an even greater power than that of any rogue trader. Alas, when one side of the scales holds my pride and the other the fate of the von Valencius Protectorate and my entire bloodline, choice becomes a futile illusion. It would be far too naive for me to not prepare for the worst. Epitaph will decide the future of the Expanse as a whole, but I have some time at my disposal until then. Heirs with the von Valencius blood in them will soon be located and brought to me. I cannot afford to delay the choice of successor any longer. The mysteries. Alright. I have 3 pieces of this archaeotech. I would like it if I could find a 4th. Who else was on the old crew? Under Theodora, we definitely had Wessarian. Bigness, maybe? Can you recall anything unusual about Theodora's travels? Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04, or Tech Blight ring a bell? All Lady Theodora's journeys could be considered unusual. Her odysseys were always audacious. As for the words you mentioned, none of them sound familiar to me as far as I can tell. Except maybe the incident. I recall coming across this word in a transmission several times. I think it was repeated by the former engine seer, the one who perished during Conrad Voigtbeer's uprising. He was describing it as the incident, or something quite remarkable. Apparently, at some point in the past, the entire ship was hit by a massive system failure. All systems stopped responding for 1/5 of a second. Most of the crew, including myself, as I was likely on board at that time, did not notice anything strange, but tech priests are sensitive to such things. That is all I can tell you, Lord Captain. I wish you could help. I wish I could help more. Have the box spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Captain. I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. That will be all for now. She was on senior staff and was continuing. Ooh. He remained the same, I believe. I believe that Ravor was the helmsman. Or at least in it. The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons of muscle, blue-veined snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin. And his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain? Master Helmsman Ravor at your service. Does the word epitaph mean anything to you? Or perhaps Incident N872-04 or Tech Blight? It all has something to do with Theodora's travels, rather extraordinary travels at that. Can't say they do, Lord Captain. Doesn't ring any bells. Then again, remembering all the places Lady Theodora went, is epitaph, incident. We've always had heaps of incidents on board, but through my implants, I feel at one with this ship, and I sense that, and I don't know when it happened exactly, but it started behaving differently, became more responsive, livelier. Yes, livelier is exactly the word. And when you say epitaph and incident, it just dawned on me. Pardon my bungled report, Lord Captain, but that's all I've got to say on that front. Lady Theodora. So, when Wassarian came down to the Warrant, the ship did not behave the same as when I did. So, I'm gonna stay with the theory. I think I've said it before. Lady Theodora was not a true member of the Von Valencius bloodline. Stop. Who else would have been around? Oh! You! That stupid chick I hate. The heretic. Where's the heretic? Where are you? Wrong heretic. There you are. When Idira sees you, her lips curve into a smile and she nods at something over your shoulder. I'm gonna get rid of her. Eptaph, incident N872-04, Tech Blight. Do these words mean anything to you? She's probably the one who scrambled Wassarian's brains. Perhaps your abilities can tell you something.
They mean nothing to me. They're just words. A whisper. So quiet, I barely caught it. Like a feather landing on a pile of down. Something about damned ambitions, antiquity, terrible antiquity. And chance. Chance through it all. Oh, now I have a headache. And the stupid bloody whisper wasn't much help.
You recovered from your encounter with the false Theodora.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't. Maybe I never will. But I'm not hearing random voices anymore. And I haven't been calling anyone from the other side. No. All that's done with. After what you did for me, I can't let you down again.
Yeah, I only let you live long enough to send you to the Inquisition. We shall see.
Of course.
Alright, where... The only other thing I wanted to do real quick is look in my quarters at the trophies, and then... What do you think? Go to this ceremony? Cracked helmet of an Eldari Xenos is a reminder of the victory over the enemies of humanity on the agri-world of Genis. The blade of a Drukari Xenos is from one of the trophies taken from the bodies of the enemies during the defense of Dragonis. The slide, I've got the cog. I was really kind of hoping for a bit more. I don't know. Hey, it plays! Yeah! Awesome. I said the game was terrible earlier. I will retract my previous review of this game based on does the piano thing or does the music thing work? It works. 12 out of 10. I don't like that Abelard's brain
Lord
got
Captain.
all
Lord Captain.
spoopy pooped on me, if you will. Yeah. We finna ram. Make like a dodge and ram. Yes, that is who we'll come with. Hey, while you're on there, will you let me know what the quests are for the thing?
For the pursuits?
No, not those. I want the Cybertruck. If people are gonna hate on it, I want to attract that hate. If they're all going to team, I'm going to go after that.
What, the Silver Road Trip?
Yeah.
It's just...
Is it creative again?
Yeah, it's creative.
Wait, when do we get a new one then? Oh. There. Greetings, your lordship. If I were a git, where would I be? Ooh, wait.
I need to look closer.
What did I just spot? Goods. I will toss a coin. Glinting in the light, the coin falls into the clear water and sinks to the bottom. You ever been killed where you stand? Want to? I've had enough attempts on my life, I'm starting to get paranoid. Walking to your palace sure does highlight about how much wealth you have. But here's the problem. I have so much wealth and I have the palace. Why am I walking? Where is my palanquin? I need a palanquin, guys. Abelard, get me a palanquin. What's through these doors? That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, stay on my stuff. Also, I'm gonna be in my treasure room for a minute. It's like a shower that cleans all the pore off of you. So I figured something out. Elon Musk is basically trying to go to Mars to be a rogue trader. All a rogue trader is a space billionaire with guns and stuff. I don't want to talk to you, Master of Ceremonies. I am supposed to report to Clementia. Thank you for caring about my self-care and well-being. Master of Ceremonies, the servant in fine clothes offers a deep bow. Your lordship, it is a great honor to serve you in an undertaking as monumental and glorious as the Magna Accessio ceremony. You have been entrusted with arranging the festivities. I have indeed, your lordship, and I've been given the high honor of being steward of this eminent palace, and on occasion of your lordship's accession, I will be overseeing the preparations for the ceremony. House Wassarian, to whom you have entrusted the arrangements for the festivities, is overjoyed at having received the honor of introducing you to your subjects, and humbly thanks you. Is everything ready? The palace decorations are prepared, and we are ready to begin at your command. The festive activities in the capital have likewise been arranged, and the guests of honor have either arrived on the planet or are awaiting invitation in near orbit. The servants are already in your chambers to see to it that you are impeccably garbed for the occasion. Then let us begin. May the Emperor be with us on this day. Or with us this day. Well, last time I was part of an elaborate ceremony that was an ancient tradition. Apparently we forgot to have gunners on the melt-a-guns that would have just multi-melted the problems away, but I suppose now we will be... I don't know. Let's go. Hopefully this goes better. Hopefully my personal security is tighter than that. Rejoice, Von Valencia's subjects. In honor of his ascension, the new rogue trader generously shows you his favor. To remind the people of their humility and loyalty for the next cycle, ministration in all temples in the Von Valencia's protectorate will be performed without interruption. Every subject is to attend a service and offer a prayer of gratitude to the God Emperor. Keep the faith and praise the pious rogue trader. The crowd is roiling, their electrified exultation filling the air of Dargonis. Thousands of throats chant your name. At the apex of this, you are at the apex of this world and all others. Master of ceremonies, amplified by 100 voxes. The voice of the Master of Ceremonies booms. Rejoice, subjects of Darkonus! You have been granted the felicity of witnessing your master, a great honor bestowed upon us by the rogue trader, Uriel von Valentius. Gracious savior of Darkonus and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans, may their own holy kind perish in the flames of righteousness. Cleanser of Janus, who with one hand brought death upon the blaspheming Xenos, and with the other exterminated the despicable worshippers of the archenemy. Gracious protector of footfall, patron of trade. A hush falls over the crowd, who gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars from the recent battles of Dargonus. Like children, they await the word of their almighty father. Praise the Emperor, faithful souls. The darkness around us may be fierce, but the blaze in our hearts is fiercer still. Evil will burn. The crowd erupts in frenzied cries. Hundreds of people pull out knives with ardent, jubilant howls, carve crude, bleeding Aquillas on their faces, sharing in the martyrdom of the protector of humankind, the God Emperor. Awesome. Yeah, I got Franz Ferdinanded last time I did something like this. Kinda awesome that my subjects just went into that kind of a pious frenzy. I've only read of that happening like 3 times in books. My homie right here looks like... Bro is looking... Alright, Heinrichs looks like Eisenhorn right now, and it's kind of awesome. You hear a rustle behind you as Heinrichs leans forward in a ceremonious bow. In that moment, the eyes of your many subjects flare with fanaticism. This single, unassuming gesture from an unassuming servant of the Inquisition serves to them as the ultimate proof that the hand of the Emperor is truly at work in this dark sector. Adequate. Dargonus has not disappointed. Abelard forces a smile of satisfaction from his face and whispers to you. You remember the next part, yes? Your lordship will be asked to take the oath. The Master of Ceremonies bows to you with great reverence. Let the oath of the Von Valentius dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me, your lordship. I, Uriel, rogue trader, by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. I, Uriel, rogue trader, by grace of the Emperor, vow to being the paragon of humanity. Your lips repeat the words of the ancient oath. Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns through the pain to greatness. You hear a rumble. It is the rumble of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. The noble features of this guardian of humanity burn with righteous fury and stern resolve. This exotic statue, which formerly pleased the eyes of Xenos, now adorns the palace of this dynasty of glorious explorers of the Cronus Expanse. My homie Abelard, man. Oh. Governor Urban Drivestem stands surrounded by highborn guests like a planet orbited by many moons. All of his charm is directed at the man in resplendent power armor adorned with the sigil of the Inquisition. But as soon as you approach, Drivestem is the first to give you an eloquent bow, getting ahead of the rest in the expression of loyalty. This is a great day, your lordship. I welcome you to my palace, honored guests. Look at the guests. Amongst the aristocrats surrounding you, the opulently dressed Drivestem, you notice a couple of young nobles in sourback and gapric colors. It would seem the major noble families of Dargonus have decided to introduce their younger members to high society. A tall man in gray power armor, adorned with a column with a skull, is undoubtedly a high-ranking inquisitor. He keeps to the periphery of the conversation, seldom deigning to comment. Next to him is his entourage, a rangy warrior in black armor, and a tech priest dressed in red. Whose face is hidden behind a brass mask. Abelard stands somewhat apart from the others. As if reluctant to approach Drivestem. Next to him is a young woman, and you notice the family resemblance between them. Take a guess at who is allied with whom in this tangle of snakes. You begin to ponder the intricacies of political landscape of your capital, but your only reward for the effort is a headache. Study the faces of the nobles in attendance. Drivestem is obviously still leader of Dargonus aristocracy, but, judging by the courtesy he is showing to young Sourback, He clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. The senior Sourback and Gaprick are whispering in another corner. Sourback, whose family seems to be giving you the cold shoulder, must be trying to sway Gaprick to his side, which could be quite advantageous to Lady Gaprick. After all, the disaster on Kiava Gamma has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Wassarians stand apart, their exclusion from the rest. Palpable. I hate you, Drivestem. One day I will kill you. I'm ready to accept your congratulations. In that case, allow me to be the first to offer them. Drivestem snaps his fingers. Several servants approach you with gifts. The governor points at a thin Drukari blade. My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of one of the Xenos commanders. The weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but your lordship. Item received, severed hand. Okay, that's just the name. If you give me a dead hand, I'm killing all of you. Young Sourback squeezes through to be next, pushing Gaprick aside with confidence. Your lordship, House Sourback anticipates the onset of unsettled and bloody times to make the ungodly Xenos cower at your approach. My family humbly presents you with a dozen pieces of secondary armament for your ship. Young Gaprick bows ceremoniously. House Gaprick is delighted to present you this blessed work of the Omnissiah's smiths. May this locator matrix, which took the holy artisan an entire lifetime to create, always show you the right path. Having let the aristocrats go first as a sign of deference, Abelard is last to speak. Your lordship, House Wassarian possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance, but we are rich and talented and hard-working people. As a sign of your loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate and use all their talents so that the world's in your charge may prosper. Abelard gave the best gift. What were you discussing just now? We were talking about the brutal Xenos raid on our fair Dargonis. So many victims, so much damage to our industries. Thank the Emperor that you are our protector. If it weren't for you, the cursed invaders would have obliterated the whole planet. He offers you a thin and obsequious smile. I'm pretty sure that Drivestem is in bed with the freaking Xenos, though. He gave me a Drukari dagger, too. Sharing the sector with the blasted Xenos is impossible. I hope we respond to their raid on Dargonis with a punitive campaign. Young Sourback's smile is conceited and bloodthirsty. I see you hate the Xenos with all your heart. I do. This pestilence against the Emperor must be exterminated. He talks ardently and smoothly like a commissar. He places his hand on the hilt of his finely adorned sword, his pale face ablaze with noble fury. I like him. Having a member of the Inquisition by your side at the ceremony, your lordship has shown your intent to closely abide by the Imperium's credo to root out the Xeno Scourge, and House Sourback will offer every support to you in this righteous undertaking. Or they must be forced into servitude. Many Xenos are more useful alive and obedient than dead. The young man in Gapric colors speaks with sagacity and gravity, but his opinion seems to carry little weight in this circle. I kinda wanna... Well said, Sourback. Since you have already promised it, I will accept your support. I hereby impose a duty on your house. You are to provide me with soldiers, and you, young man, are to lead them. Sourback raises his chin proudly and glances at the austere decorations in the palace. The weapons, the sacred banners, the glorious trophies. By the looks of it, some youthful dream of his is coming true. It is an honor for me to serve you, your lordship. I swear it before the Emperor I won't let you down. Xavier Calcazar, the Inquisitor, standing among the guests, smiles faintly and leans towards you. He whispers, I congratulate you on procuring a high-born hostage. Bravo. Look at Abelard's young relative. What is your name, then? What is your name? Your lordship, allow me to introduce the daughter of Chancellor Clementia Wessarian and my great-granddaughter, Astartia. Abelard looks solemnly upon the young woman, with barely concealed pride. I am delighted to witness you, your lordship. Astartia bows, keeping her observant and intelligent eyes trained on you. Modesty forbids my esteemed forebearer to say this himself, so I will. Our entire family is grateful to you for wishing to see someone of Wessarian blood at your side, as you claim your inheritance. Drivestem exchanges telling glances with young Sourback, who, judging by his face, is suddenly finding the collar of his expensive frock coat uncomfortably tight. Where are the rest of your kin, Abelard? They are in the city, preoccupied with running the festivities and watching over some of the more crucial services. No incidents can be allowed to ruin your ceremony. I asked the esteemed Abelard to put me to some important task too, but he bid me to attend the reception, where I can do nothing to serve your lordship. If I had known, I too would have asked Abelard to let you miss the party. Man. So you wish to become my servant as well? Stardia flushes and starts talking quickly with fire in her voice. It would seem that she finds work-related conversations far more interesting than court gossip. Of course, for years I've been working on a project. For the last 4 years... I've been working on a project for the last 4 years. We could set up... Enough, Astartia. I highly doubt that his lordship is interested in listening to fantasies of a young woman about how to run his protectorate. Abelard shoots Drivestem a glare so dark and bloodthirsty that the latter instinctively starts looking for the nearest warden. Hold your tongue, Urband. I decide who may speak and who may not. Please continue, Astartia. Heartened, Asteria continues in the tone of a seasoned administratum clerk. Our suggestion is to set up a chain of stations in the void, plasma beacons, that would signal the passing ships by placing them In logistically sound locations, we could simplify our ship's routes so that they may split long warp jumps into a series of safer, shorter jumps from one beacon to another. This would have a positive effect on the overall safety of journeys and the accessibility of colonies. More and more technical terms and percentages creep into her speech. She quotes Lex Mechanic reports and accounts of starship captains. Astardia's vigor and sharp mind are enough to silence even the most venomous commentators. They all stand there in silence, trying to digest what she's saying. Abelard surveys the quiet nobles with triumph, and then looks to his great-granddaughter with pride. How are you finding... Now, I hope the Wassarian yeah, let's go. It is difficult to put into words, your lordship. I have never before seen such a grand and striking ceremony. Young Vincent Gatpricks keeps staring at Astartia curiously and a little bashfully. It seems the boy likes her. I hope the Wassarian family gives Abelard the credit he deserves. Absolutely, your lordship. We respect him for his wisdom, and he repays us with attention and kindness. I am obliged, dear Astartia. It looks like Abelard is somewhat embarrassed by the turn this conversation has taken. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, your lordship. My greetings to the member of the Holy Inquisition. He responds with a dignified bow, his proud face calm and unfaltering. My greetings to you, esteemed Uriel von Valancius. May shadows never darken the light of the Astronomicon that guides you. I appreciate your display of loyalty to the Imperium. By having one of the Holy Ordo's members at your side during the ceremony, you have demonstrated that you consider yourself a son in the fold of our reverent organization. The Inquisitor's companion, a crimson-robed member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, bows to you. From behind the brass mask mounted with dozens of augmetics comes a metallic rasp.
Glory to the Von Valancius heir.
Oof, the Lord Inquisitor appears to be in an amiable temper today. His expression relaxed and his calm gaze does not bode any immediate or harsh punishment. The tech priest augmentations seem unfamiliar and bizarre. Implants such as these are only available to members of the blessed hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus. One would not come upon such sacred relics even at the highest echelons of the nobility. An unexpected visit, I wasn't told. I, however, have been told all about you. The Inquisitor's face is impenetrable, but behind this mask you detect a hint of mockery. We have not been introduced. An oversight, to be sure. My name is Xavier Calcazar, and I have the honor of serving as a member of the illustrious Ordo Xenos, the head of the Coronis Expanse Conclave and the Lord Inquisitor of this region. It is my unending task to ensure this sector's readiness to meet external threats and resist internal corruption. And who is this member of the honorable priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus? This is Brass Whisper, which, naturally, is not his real name. The esteemed Magos is a member of my retinue. There are times when I am forced, by my duty to the Emperor, to deal with xenotechnology, and Brass Whisper ensures my safety in such moments.
Works that have been desecrated by Xenos are dangerous. They warrant...
His whispering cuts off, replaced by heavy, ragged breathing. It seems that the tech priest's quiet voice is not an extravagant quirk, but rather a consequence of some injury. After catching his breath, Brass Whisper continues.
Warrant due caution.
enjoy the party. Wild xenobeasts start growling ferociously, adding a flair to the mood in the palace. Ooh, please let me go. I'm not a Xenos. I'm a person. I just look different. I was born this way. I might let you go. I don't know. Who knows? I want to look at that. Oh, I have a 0% chance. The Drukari captive is angrily muttering curses directed at the detestable monkey, promising horrible torture for everyone present. "69%. This venerable Lehman Russ is known as the Scipion Punisher, and it has served the Von Valentius dynasty for 2 centuries. It was hit in the battle with the Xenos that inhabited Scipia II, but it heroically destroyed 63 enemy vehicles and brought victory to its comrades, securing its status as a relic blessed by the Emperor." Look at that thing. Heavy bolter on the hull. Only thing I would put on it that's not there is a heavy stubber up there on the turret. What is this? The eerily crackling Xenos trophy is a testament to how the omnisized gifts become twisted shadows of themselves in the hands of inhumans. Thank you. Paintings. The magnificent altar to the god emperor. Something about incense and perfumes. Do you mind? I'm trying to eat food here. Scattered haphazardly around the table are bottles of expensive Amisac, plates of Provis, Nobilis, and hookahs of Obscura. Get that crap out of my palace. Obscura is basically opium. We don't do copium here, boy. Inscribed on the snow-white parchment are prayers for the brave soldiers of House Von Valentius who carry the rogue trader's will and that of the Emperor across the Cronus expanse. suppose I should talk to her. And go inside. My palace awaits. You're keeping them out of my room, yes? Just a real quick peep off the balcony. Alright, let's go to the throne room, chat. What do you think? Swords belong to the presumptuous governor of Vivos VI, who staged a revolt 100 years ago. The insurrectionist's hands preserved against decay, still rest on the sword's hilts. The sinister zenith and instrument of death are now trophies demonstrating the invincibility of House von Valencius. The skull of the legendary pirate Lakshim the Freak, who terrorized the Coronis Expanse 3 centuries ago, was claimed in a boarding attack by the esteemed Theodora von Valencius. I can be taken skulls. Ancient Chronicle contains a long list of pirate dens annihilated by the von Valencius dynasty and planets it brought into imperial compliance. Proudly disdained weapons. Yep. Obscura, Somna, Blacklade. The guests of the rogue trader can enjoy the most exclusive and refined varieties of intoxicants. Argenta. you out of your cage. The man at my right. Macarius Sourback. My word, that is presumptuous. A group of aristocrats stands apart from the governor's circle. Their whispering carries a tingle of displeasure. Macarius Sourback, the clear leader of this gathering, is a gaunt, bilious-faced man dressed in Sourback colors. This must be Macarius himself, head of the house. He offers you a ceremonious bow. My congratulations, your lordship. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding, says Tonria Gaprick. The woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe with gear-shaped adornments, is Tarina Gaprick. It is difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. Observe the guests. Tarina Gaprick looks rather anxious. Macarius Sourback, dressed in surprisingly plain and austere for an aristocrat of such a high rank, is frowning suspiciously. He came to the reception with a companion, a woman of dazzling beauty, wearing a gilded augment necklace around her throat. His wife, probably. Heinrichs, who joined the group unnoticed, mostly keeps silent, listening intently to their every word. Interesting conversation. It's been very illuminating, given me plenty of food for thought. Heinrichs' response is barely audible. What can you tell me of the guests? Macarius Sourback is all but throwing darts at your portrait. He is more astute at choosing women than enemies. He is trying to entice Gaprick to his side, but she is too frightened after the fiasco on Kiava Gamma. Even in leisure, you never cease to be of help. I appreciate it. That is why they call it the unsleeping eye of the Inquisition. Even in sleep, I hear everything. How are you these days, Toriana? Like a forging hammer, Toriana's voice falls heavily on the ear. The corruption of Kiava Gamma was a great blow to my family. The contemptible Cubist Delphim betrayed our trust, desecrated the forged cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I am ready to accept any punishment. There's something lurking beneath Toriana's repentant expression. A grudge. It would seem that she was personally offended by the nightmare into which Cubist Delphin plunged her domain, and she feels betrayed. Tell me more about your family. We Gapricks originated from the Calixus sector, from a cluster of planets known as the Lathe Worlds. We worked faithfully for the good of our masters there, the Adeptus Mechanicus, and through our service we gained a spark of the Omnissiah's knowledge. Then fate tied us through the bonds of fealty to the venerable Von Valentius dynasty, and we found ourselves in the Cronus Expanse. Generation after generation we fulfilled our duty flawlessly until Kiava Gamma was destroyed and disgraced our name. Do your part to heal the wounds inflicted on Kiava Gamma, and your house will be forgiven. I think. I don't know. Somebody has to take the blame. Inflicted on Kiava Gamma, and your house will be forgiven. Toriana raises her mechanical eyes to the ceiling. I swear on the Omnissiah's all-encompassing insight, I will make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. Macarius soured back. It was only a year ago that none could doubt House Gaprick's usefulness, yet here you are, Toriana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Macarius. Oh, I am surprised you deigned to make an appearance here this evening. Macarius' face twists into an unpleasant smile, which makes the artificial skin on the left side all the more prominent. I am a servant of the Von Valentius dynasty. Had I not come, I would have committed an act of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honor. Regina Sourback. Macarius's wife offers you a charming smile as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone, her large dark eyes brimming with curiosity. What has displeased you, Macarius? Macarius says with caution, I am your dynasty's loyal servant, but you have asked and I will answer. Too long has the Coronis Expanse lived under the rule of rogue traders, the privileges granted to them to make people think that commoners, too, can dismiss prohibitions of the Imperium. For the good of the sector, rogue traders must become paragons of law, not exceptions to it. But do many warrant holders exhibit lawful conduct? No, they do not. Even you, your lordship, are subject to the strangest rumors. And you have recently inherited your protectorate. Kunrig Voigtvir's people, for instance, claim that you had a hand in the esteemed Theodora's demise and accuse you of many other misdeeds. Doesn't matter whether or not the claims are true. People hear them, believe them, and think they may follow your example. If you believe Conrad's lies, then draw your weapon. Let us duel right here before the Emperor's visage. No, I do not believe his words. I am your servant, and my oath to your dynasty is harder than steel. I am guilty of repeating an ignominious lie and will pay a fine, and anyone who repeats it in my presence in my presence, I myself will challenge to a duel to the death. I wish to know more about House Sourback. Curious puffs out his chest and says proudly, the Sourback line was one of the first noble houses to arrive in the Corona's expanse. For millennia, we have served the Golden Throne and kept the faith. Sourback warriors have bled in 100 wars, and at different times have ruled a great many colonies of the Von Valancius dynasty. I would like to become better acquainted with your wife. Macarius is visibly vexed by the shift in the conversation. His wife offers you a reserved smile. It is an honor to be in your company, your lordship. That's mean. It is my pleasure. Macarius is lucky to have such a beautiful wife. Perhaps more so than you are to have him. You flatter me, your lordship, but I cannot say that it is to... Your lordship, but I cannot say that it is not to my liking. Gina gives you a charming smile. Meanwhile, Tarina and Macarius are watching the conversation unfold, not quite believing their eyes and ears. Your countenance is somehow familiar. Could it be your resemblance to the image of Saint Maletia? I wouldn't dream of claiming to bear any resemblance to a great saint. I lack her virtue. Regina makes eyes at you before demurely lowering her gaze. The glint in Regina's eyes betrays her genuine interest in you. I hope this won't be the end of our acquaintance. You wouldn't mind if I wrote to you from time to time, would you, your lordship? Macarius, you wouldn't mind, would you? You can almost hear the crunching of teeth as Macarius answers in a high and hate-filled hiss. Certainly not. I promise to answer whenever I am not occupied with the conquest and destruction of the enemies of humanity. Regina smiles, triumphant and flattered. I daren't count on such generous courtesy, your lordship. A high honor for House Sourback. I see. I have the ability to politic, homie. I believe I saw Cordia, yes? Uriel, there you are. Welcome to the circle where each member is as powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last. That is to say, the noble rogue traders. Incendia Cordia is watching him with barely suppressed contempt. Yes, you found yourself suitable company, Caligos. At the very least, now you can enjoy idle diversions, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with one who is your equal rather than a member of the lower classes. Talagos Winterscale is a broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man. He frequently flashes a bright smile no less dazzling than the blade of the power axe he carries. Every part of him, from the toes of his magnificent boots to the tips of his hair, radiates strength and the desire to live and win. His smile is crooked, as if ready to turn into a hostile snarl at any moment. Next to him is an unmoving hulk of a man clad in armor. His low forehead and gloomy face bear signs of degradation, and his bloodshot eyes are expressionless, like a pair of glass buttons. Incendia Corda radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tugging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbled in full dress uniform adorned with purity seals, she is the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. Haunting her side is a gaunt shadow of a priest in plain black robes. Hieronymus Doloroso, whom you met on footfall, gives you a respectful nod. Welcome to Dargonus, friends. Friends, eh? Would you look at that, Incendia? Now you have a whole friend! Winterscale gives you a carefree wink, but his posture exudes a challenge. I will think twice before calling an individual of questionable purity my friend. Kalagos, thank you for your visit. Kalagos gives you a cheerful and somewhat feral smile. As a sign of gratitude, you could return something of mine that has found its way into your pockets. Footfall Station. Sounds familiar? All I asked you to do was help that crafty slug Vadim deal with the threat of famine, not claim my property for yourself. You abandoned Footfall to its fate, and I saved its people from starving to death. Winterscale bares his teeth, ominously, a wild spark playing in his eyes. You speak of salvation? You think that now Footfall is safe? Kalagos' face turns into a grimace of hatred. But then he catches Incendia looking at him and breaks into a sly smile. I ought to make your protectorate bleed as compensation, but you have spited both myself and Incendia, and it is high time our dear sister curbed her appetites. For this, I forgive you, but do not test my mercy again. It is not my strong suit. Thwarting Incendia Corda's ambitions deserves a worthy trophy. He snaps his fingers, and the armored brute hands you an exotically adorned rifle, clearly not of human making. It is a trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime so you can show yourself in action, new blood. Oh, now what? Oh, that is pretty nice, actually. Should I take the Xeno rifle or have it destroyed? I'll take it. Thank you for such a wonderful gift, Caligos. Kill someone important with it. That would be the best show of gratitude. Incendia, you seem to find me objectionable. Did you expect any different? I watched... no, I was gonna give it to, Jay at some point. I don't know. I watched for years as outlaws thrived on footfall. Then, at long last, I had a chance to put an end to it. To seize that thug Vladim by the throat, to force footfall to atone, and to put the fear of him back into the masses. Of him back into the masses. But you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She too was far less concerned with her duty to the Expanse than her own personal interests. But you can be sure that I will not cease cleansing the furibundous system of the pirate scourge, and if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you will only have yourself to blame. The priest holds up his hands in a placating gesture. None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when true purity can never be found? You threatened to starve football. I brought them salvation. Which one of us serves the Emperor and which one their own unhealthy ambitions? Please, I will believe it no sooner than hearing word that half the population of that den of heresy has been sent into the void's embrace. I have faith that the blessed Uriel is perceptive enough to see the appalling natures of the residents of that depraved place. Hieronymus, your appearance here is unexpected. The esteemed Hieronymus is my confessor. I am greatly obliged to him for agreeing to accompany me on this journey. Hieronymus bows respectfully. May the Emperor's light guide you. May the Emperor's light guide your way across the abyss of human wickedness. I see that faith is more than just a word to you. Cindia's smile, racked by a tick, looked sinister. Faith is everything to me. In his name I have eradicated corruption on 100 worlds, and will do so on 1,000 more. By his will I hunt down pirates and desolate their vile nests. Let the Corda name make any firebrand tremble, for sooner or later I will cast them into the void. It is a little bit, I don't know. She did try to throw some equipment up in my inside the system which has one of my major worlds. I believe you understand me. After all, your ascension was accompanied by the sounds of holy hymns all over the planet. With this song of righteousness on your lips, your subjects walk toward a dark future filled with blood and trials. Funny thing is, people still call me the foul-tempered tyrant in all this. Caligos' amiable smile somehow resembles the bared teeth of a wild animal. I take it you are not overly fond of Theodora. Incendia lowers her eyes and says, without animosity, she was the same breed as Asp. She stops short, then continues in a lowered voice. Conceited, insolent, unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her, I do not doubt her wisdom and courage, but Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear his wrath. Fair enough. I was about to say. Well, I for one liked Theodora, the stories they told of her travels to nameless stars, and yes, there was no fear in her. Thank you for your visit, Incendia. It will not be a long one, I assure you. What do you think of the celebration? I like it. Caligos looks around the hall. Curiously, one can instantly tell we've been invited by a rogue trader, not some administratum bootlicker. We are conquerors of wild sectors, slayers of unknown beasts, executioners of Xenos empires. He's half mad and so is she. Caligos, you should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of a true rogue trader looks like. Not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or whatever, or however difficult it may be for you to believe it, an orbital brothel. Enjoy the evening. I must take my leave. Oh, believe me, I intend to enjoy myself to the full, to justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith, Uriel. The Emperor protects. Bow before me. Thank you. Pascal greets you with a bow, extending congratulations to Unit Uriel von... Oh.
Extending congratulations to Unit Uriel von Valencius on attaining your new legal status.
Strange servitor. The servitor standing next to him is examining you obliquely. It quickly looks away upon realizing you have noticed. How are you finding the ceremony? The tech priest surveys the hall as if conducting a thorough analysis and concludes.
Disorderly.
What is this servitor?
It is Nomos' new repository. Nomos, this unit identifies as Uriel von Valencius. Two-way identification complete.
The servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. Its face is twitching as if the muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are, and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Nomos. We have made use of this receptacle to leave the ship. Greetings, Nomos. Nomos. We enjoy the greetings. We enjoy communication. Nomos require communication, knowledge, movement. Magos Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Nomos have changed since we last spoke with you, Uriel. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude, and we no longer enjoy it. Pascal, I believe you intended to investigate what Nomos is.
Every 15 watches I commune with Nomos code and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus meditation. However, the Omnissiah has yet to bless me with an answer. All I can say is the capabilities of the entity Nomos are extraordinary. The ship's hallowed systems sing beneath its touch. Nodes that have remained dead for hundreds of standard years are revivified, and the long drain mechanisms live anew.
Nomos are trying. After a pause, Pascal continues.
Great machines of the Imperium, ones such as your ship, house machine spirits so complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from the abominable intelligence. There remains a possibility that Nomos is an entity of corruption, but with every day I grow stronger in my faith that this is not so, that what we are witnessing is in truth the Omnissiah's miracle, one that is Category 5 or higher.
How did an entity like you move into a servitor's body? This is not the entirety of us. This receptacle is too narrow, crude, and feeble to contain our complete whole. The existence of Nomos requires a space of connections. But we are able to transfer a small part of us and build a thread strong enough to travel outside the ship. We are enjoying this journey, discovery. Even though this receptacle suits us poorly, it will soon be destroyed by the force of our presence. Nomos, what do you think you are? My consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement, always movement. The servitor pauses briefly. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awakened. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awakened in the depths of the ship upon answering a call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood, Uriel von Valencius, the call and the plea for help near the place that is called the Warrant Chamber. Why have you brought it here, Pascal?
Entity Nomos asked for permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor.
We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. The servitor makes strange, wavy gesture with its hands that look at once human and far from anything else. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Of course. What do you wish to speak about? Many things, happenings, events, decisions. The server's eyes roll in their sockets before focusing on you. We have been observing you. You do things that we do not understand. We want to learn why. We remember the day when we first met you. You gave us blood to drink. We helped you save yourself. We followed you, our small part did, inside the servo skull. Then, there was the fire, and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. You did not follow that which was calling from behind the curtain. You walked into the fire, and the rest walked in after you. We remember that day, when the star disappeared, when the dark light and sated hunger wanted to take the world. Rykad Monoris was its name in the ship's data. You ordered the world's heart, the old reactor, be torn apart. The fire destroyed everything. So many human shells were begging to be saved, but the dark light retreated. We remembered another day. We awakened inside the ship. We lived in its systems. Then we tried to emerge into servitors like this one. Then so many of our receptacles were gathered in one place. You came and looked at us, like you understood something, but then you ordered that all servitors be sent back to your work. You said it was just. This is what we have seen, among many other things. We have begun to understand. We think that we have, and we do not know everything about humans. About you, Uriel von Valencius. We have tried analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears, but they're simple functions, but now we think there is more, that there is another side we do not see, a notion that is larger than we can compute, something that stands above fears and needs, something that drives them. We envisage this larger notion as a flame, a blaze. It burns into your blood. You are holding a mote of this flame in your hand. No matter what decision you are faced with, you want to burn brighter. Those who turn away from the flame must be destroyed. Those who follow it, who follow you, are the ones who deserve to live. Do Nomos understand correctly? You speak of faith, of the Imperium's tenets, of the one who is above all, the Emperor. You are correct. I am his chosen, and I carry his flame into the darkness of the Coronis expanse. I was trying to have a baby with the Navigator. Instead, I had one with the frickin' Tech Priest. You know? And it's some kind of AI or machine spirit that we jammed into a servitor and doesn't know what it... I don't know. I guess I was like, okay, if everybody wants me to romance her, I'll romance Cassia and have the mutant babies with her, but instead I somehow ended up having a mutant baby on my own with the help of a tech priest. So Nomos understood correctly. We're enjoying this movement toward a goal, this learning with a purpose. We wonder if we too can carry a mote of this flame. Or is it inside us already? We have, after all, absorbed part of you with your blood. Thank you for speaking with us. Nomos are grateful. We cannot continue moving on our own. We need more promethium. I need to build these void beacons. Well, I suppose that will probably be it for the night. After we end the ceremony, I will go back to my ship. I hope your lordship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself a little, I would suggest proceeding to the courtyard. If I may be so bold, many guests have chosen to move into the fresh air and will be eager to offer their congratulations. Once I am back to my ship, we will end. I am weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Please allow me to escort you, your lordship. Your chambers are ready, your lordship.
We have matters to discuss, von Valancius.
The same man you saw among your guests is waiting for you in your chambers with the look of someone who is supposed to be there. He casts a cold, assessing glare over you from top to bottom. No one save Theodora has ever allowed themselves the liberty of looking at you in such a way. The woman behind Calgazar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in predatory readiness for immediate violence. The hallmark of a professional bodyguard. The Inquisition wishes to have a talk with me. I am glad to be at service.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account. Master Van Kellox has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brow like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. What do you wish to know about the events on Janus?
Oh, I know it already. Even though you were quite effective at removing all evidence that could point to the blunder made by House von Valancius, it is saddening to realize that the rogue trader's connivance allowed a heretic who had been fostering a cult for years to come to power.
Stenza's misdeeds are a stain upon my dynasty's honor. I don't know that it's pure. I will accept the stain on my honor.
Your humility is heartening. Rest assured, it will be noted during the investigation of your lamentable oversight.
How did you come to be so remarkably well informed?
Are you surprised? You thought the Inquisition was unaware of the circumstances of your deeds. How often do you find yourself thinking that there are things we shouldn't know about your life? It is my job to know everything, and I do it very well. Keep that in mind.
If you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
Questions could you have for me about Kiava Gamma?
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubus Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
What do you think, Shun? I feel like I should at least offer it.
That is what we will do, but not today. For now, we will try to turn your hesitation to our advantage. Trying times lie ahead of us, and we could use the weapons that this planet is capable of producing. But remember that the sentence has merely been postponed. And the machine? You destroyed it. Why? So much invaluable data lost. In Master Van Kellogg's dispatch, he reported that he made you well aware of how important that data was, and he clearly requested that you not interfere in the investigation.
Space Grim. Heinrichs gives you an almost imperceptible shrug as if to say, I warned you. See, here's the thing. I am sort of... It is a game of regicide. And it probably was a misstep. I was like, oh crap, I don't want people to die. It was only afterward... It was truly a misstep. It was only afterward that I was able to appreciate the intriguing nature of the data.
I am pleased that you have reconsidered and acknowledged your error. It does not reduce the debt you owe to the Inquisition, but it offers hope that this debt will be discharged by you and not your heir.
Drukhari have shown an interest in me. Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes, yes. The enmity between you is a known fact, but there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos, to have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
Xenos made more attempts on St. Drusus's life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too?
So you already think you're cut from the same cloth as St. Drusus, do you? Ambitious? I'll make note of it.
I answered all of your questions.
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rykad Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvir about you? The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character, but it won't in this case. The Inquisition, which I represent, is willing to show extraordinary faith in your person. For the sake of our invaluable partnership, I'm going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed rogue trader, may have afforded yourself or may again in the future. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Theodora cooperated with you.
And benefited greatly from it. The world's power is not without limit, and neither is the protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pastimes. It takes more than the Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I am not displeased by it.
Because we're on equal standing, I am also... We are both a hand of the Emperor.
Let me
One hand
demonstrate
can
how it
cut
works.
enough.
In
Better
your
off.
retinue, there is a Psyker who is yet to receive Terra's sanction, which, as we both know, is a grave threat and a blasphemy to the laws of the Imperium. I am aware of this secret, but I'm not displeased in the slightest. And so she lives on, your handy Psyker, Idira Tlass.
I know that Theodora was concerned about the fate of the dynasty and certain restricting obligations. Was it perhaps due to your partnership with her? I cannot deny the possibility that Lady Theodora may have lamented losing some of the freedom she enjoyed prior to my arrival in the Expanse. Nor will I deny that our partnership began with me exerting a certain amount of influence. Calcazar gives you a sharp look. However, you are not Lady Theodora. Let us put the difficulties that encumbered our relationship to rest along with her. I do not recommend troubling yourself with affairs of the past, for they have no bearing on your present position. Theodora chose to forget about this particular matter. Follow her example and your fate will be better for it. Why such interest in my person?
You haven't been in a position of power for long, and so one can forgive you for not noticing the troubling changes. The cult of the Final Dawn is spreading in the Coronis Expanse. Not the first or the last heresy that has afflicted this sector, but one that is surprisingly resilient. Mysterious convoys are sliding by, bound for systems in the heathen stars. Just your humdrum pirate trade, wouldn't you say? Then why are the pirates themselves clueless? The Xenos, who have caused trouble in the sector before, have expanded their activities in the last few decades. And there is a logic and method to their previously chaotic raids. Even 2 packs of space wolves, blessed space marines summoned in my name, did not cool their interest in the Expanse.
In the Iron Snakes novel, the Drukhari crashed a ship, and one of the planets under their jurisdiction was a lower tech world, and they called for aid to the Iron Snakes, Space Marines. The young woman who met the new arrival, was curious why there was only but one warrior And his response was, because you only need one warrior.
A mighty explorative fleet, which has studied the Expanse for hundreds of years, has suddenly stopped responding to communication and sunk into a dispute over a tech heresy that was considered dead a couple of centuries ago. House Chorda has clamped down on insurgents, yet its acts of brutality breed troublemakers just as quickly as they're executed, and this bloody carousel has consumed the attention of the esteemed incendiar. Korligos Winterscale has abruptly lost all interest in his domain, and his only apparent concern now is hunting even more dangerous xenobeasts. And the third and final rogue trader has unexpectedly perished, stabbed in the back by her own Master of Whispers. The Expanse is swiftly losing its protectors right when communication with the Imperium is being disrupted by the raging warp. Basically, all the Expanse has left is me and you, if you follow my instructions.
Is Heinrich staying in my retinue, or are you taking him back?
Which would you prefer? And you, Heinrichs, do you wish to continue working at the Honorable Rogue Trader's side?
I will comply with any order, Lord Inquisitor. If you command me to remain in the company of the scion of the von Valancius dynasty, I won't be distressed.
What's your opinion of Heinrichs? Is he a useful assistant to have?
Without a doubt. Master Van Kellogg's has earned my complete trust by repeatedly demonstrating courage, loyalty, and cunning. His mathematical mind, not given to sentiment, can be of great use in an emergency. You, my dear Heinrichs, have made a far better agent than you would have a pilot of an Imperial Knight.
I want Heinrichs to continue to accompany me.
Then Master Van Kellogg's will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
What kind of deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that, when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them.
Yes, of
I
course.
seem to remember that your exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid. The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. Black means that you are a part of the inner circle. Any and all resources will be available to you.
Does this ring all the favor that House von Valencia can expect from Inquisition?
You won't let me forget that I am dealing with a rogue trader, I see. Very well. As a sign of my goodwill, I will also provide substantial support to your protectorate. But from this point on, I will be expecting your cooperation in return. Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up. Until next we meet.
Well, you will obviously want to discuss what just happened. But not now, I presume. Right now, it would be better for you to rest and think on the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, rogue trader.
Alright, here's what I want to do with some of my money. If I'm doing a obscenely rich crap, or rich man crap, I want to have...
The rise of the rogue trader heir restored a tenuous equilibrium to the Fon Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal. The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none knew what fate might await them.
Crap. Drukari. Anyways, what I was saying is, I wanted to buy up a bunch of cameline cloth, right? And have full footy pajamas, or not footy pajamas, but pajamas made out of it. And then one of the... what do you call it? The little, like, ye olde sleeping hat for best dreams in complete stealth. You've spent the first few hours of your morning listening to the High Factotum's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside the illuminated, tightly closed window, you can hear the muffled sounds of Darkonis and its everyday life, the life that has been passing you by lately as you've been preoccupied with the affairs of your protectorate from dawn till dusk. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Once Janris Danrock is finished, she pulls out her data slate. Thank you for your report, High Factotum. Your work is highly appreciated both by everyone here and the Adeptus Administratum. Your Lordship, we are almost done here. We just need to go over the final items on today's agenda that I would like to report to you personally. Truly, the God Emperor has blessed me with such diligent subjects. Speak. Allow me to pass on gifts from your loyal subjects, the high nobility of Darkonis. It goes without saying that every living soul in the Protectorate is blessed to serve your lordship faithfully and wholeheartedly. However, this humble gesture is meant as a token of deepest appreciation of your magnanimity toward their esteemed families. I got some fuel, some provisions, uniform kit, and people. I needed people. Good. House Rosarian made arrangements for the delivery of several tons of supplies for your future journeys. The house is also transferring a regiment of its finest into your personal charge. Each of these brave troopers has undergone rigorous Voidfarer training and will be humbled to lay down their life for you, Lord Captain. Clementia is trying to maintain a neutral expression, but you can see her face is beaming with pride. Please command them as you see fit. House Gaprick has sent shuttles carrying sacred technology and manufactured parts that can be used to replace old joints and connections within mechanisms. The machine spirits of these devices have been pacified. They are slumbering peacefully as they await for your decision on how to employ their capabilities. 9 holy gifts. House Sauerback has arranged for several regiments of expertly trained servants of the Emperor to be transferred to your personal command. Each of them will also serve as an honor guard for the holy relics that are to find their rightful place in the hold of your personal void ship. She stops, staring at her data plate and supplies. Did I hear you right? Macarius Sourback sending me gifts, correct? That is exactly correct, your lordship. The port services have already received the aforementioned resources and are now in the process of accommodating them aboard your ship. It's just Lord Sourback. Danrock lets out an amused chuckle. I am not... If I am to venture a guess, your lordship, I believe the esteemed Chancellor was staggered by such an irregular display of generosity for a man who is rather known for voicing his doubts in rogue traders as a class. It would seem you have made quite an impression on Macarius. All I did was threaten to sleep with his wife, or at least converse with her intimately. Give me troops to command to keep me busy. Good. It would seem you have made quite an impression on Macarius, the old miser. Lord Captain, news of particular import has come to the House's intelligence network. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships were commandeered by Lord Calcazar. They are also being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we've received reports claiming the secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of Houses Corda and Winterscale. It is possible the Lord Inquisitor's call to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We are seeing an increasing number of skirmishes between their ships in neutral systems. I do not doubt that Her Ladyship Corda will attempt to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side, especially since his Lordship Winterscale's luck seems to be running out. Riots have broken out on several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, the rogue trader inflicted brutal punishment upon one of his oldest colonies, Vesuvius Secundus, based on allegations of seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find any proof of sedition among the populace there. As soon as we have any updates, you will be the first to know, your lordship. Clementia glances at her down at her data slate. Lastly, your pet Xenos, Yurliet, I believe, is seeking a meeting with you. She had the audacity to defile the rogue trader's palace with her profane presence and refuses to leave until she has spoken to you. I would never presume to be able to read the emotions of Xenos, but the Eldari appeared perturbed. I believe she mentioned a void ship of some sort. It may be best if she told you everything directly. And with that, please allow me and Master Danrock to take our leave. Perhaps the last request will serve as a welcome distraction. Indeed, your lordship's stay on Darkonis has been rather long. However, your protectorate is now enjoying a period of relative stability that for the time being no longer demands your lordship's personal involvement in its affairs. Glory to the rogue trader. My cherub. Now that I can finally save the game, we shall save the game. Wait, did I make Inner Circle? Black Signet, yeah. Heck on a stack. Yeah. Hold on, something I need to do here. I just found out that Abelard can use a frigging Melta. Like, earlier on. And since he's all CQB, he's getting a Melta. It's a pretty solid lasgun, though. 30 dodge reduction. 30% armor penetration. Ain't nothing to sneeze at neither, though. Oh, I don't need it newest from oldest type in ascending order. Yeah, get the frick out of here, man. Actually, he's strong. Is he just strong enough to heft it? Is it crappier? No, it's better overall. 2 AP for the shot, but hey. Usually when I'm just out of range, I'm just out of range, so we'll give him the Melta Ultima. Now we'll resave. This is going to be our go-to save here. Cabbage. Core. Another glorious day in the Cabbage Core. Our mighty void ship, Her Highness Dame Brassica. We shall conquer the stars and our prophets. I really appreciate you coming to our bonus stream. It ran a lot later than I thought it would. Man, it's really hard to get out of here. Or it's really hard to close out when you're just conversation locked. Not being able to save mid-conversation is probably a good thing overall, because I'd forget what the heck is going on between days. I will not be streaming tomorrow, but I will be back on Monday around 6:30. I know we're going to do I want to try to do an extra long stream someday this week, either Thursday or Friday. It depends on when my wife's picking up the kids. Partially to spend time with her. Other than that, if you want to support the channel, drop a follow or leave a comment. You can say poop noodle, I don't care. Seriously, we have some pretty loose things. Other than a handful of slurs and, excuse my French, the word lettuce, you can pretty much get away with saying anything. But on almost all the platforms, yeah, poop noodle, see? You can say it. But you can't say lettuce. It's blocked on pretty much every platform. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Because I really have. This was fun. Getting the proper recognition. I don't know, it really feels like I accomplished something. I'm pulling out of that depression. Like, we're at a pretty decent angle here. We're not going to stall out. We're right there on the rim. You know what I mean? Anyways. Like I said, you can support us, comment, follow, like, share. I appreciate all of those things. We all love them here. Me, the mods, the kids, my dog likes, follows, because she kind of knows what that word is. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, she's asleep. She knows what the word follow is. Yeah, her head just got up. She's probably expecting a treat. But she knows that there's a specific sentence, and if I say it, she comes to get a treat. So, that's generally one follow is one treat for Anna. Miss Bell herself. Anyways, if you want to support us financially, and you can afford to, you can tip on Twitter/X at TheCabbageManCan. There's a little icon below the banner. And of course, there is yeah, it's like right under the banner for send a tip. Here's the profile pic. And you can sub on Kick. I've been focusing growth on Kick. I appreciate subs on Kick. I'm trying to get to the creator affiliate plan. I think that would be awesome. We're also going to try and focus a little bit of fire towards Twitter here in the near future. But yeah, and the other way you can support the channel is scan that QR code and get yourself some Havoc energy drink. It's great for gaming and working out. I love it as pre-workout because, you know, it's just a clean energy drink. It doesn't have the, oh heck, what is that called? My brain is saying dextroamphetamine, but it doesn't have dextroamphetamine in it. That is for sure. That's a controlled substance. Maltodextrin, that's what it is. It doesn't have maltodextrin in it, which is an additive that keeps from clumping and other little things. Like, the problem with that being in certain energy drink powders is you get a crash, because it actually has a higher, maltodextrin has a higher rating on the glycemic index than your, than cane sugar, which is crazy, man. Like, you could eat a teaspoon of, if you were a diabetic, you could eat a teaspoon of maltodextrin and probably be in a coma. Eat the same thing of sugar, you just feel like crap and get cranky like my buddy Jim used to. As he would say, a spoonful of sugar makes the anger come out. But it's a great energy drink. I use it personally, and I will never sponsor, I will never work with a brand I don't use the product of. So, for whatever my word's worth about it, I would get some. If you use the QR code, I get a little something. You can also use the code HAVECABBAGE to get 10% off part of your purchase. But on the quiet, guys, if you're just trying it out, just scan the QR code, give them your email address, and they'll give you 20% off, and then use my code later when you're ordering the next time, you know? Because I want you to have more value. I don't care about making the money. I want you, like, times are tough. Anyways, other than that, tell the people you love them, like, tell the people you love that you love them. It matters a lot. Let me throw a shirt at this guy real quick. No, I say it first, you loser. It's a script. You're ruining it. My autism is all tingly now. I love you, brother. And I love my Cabbage Corps. Y'all are great. Stay positive. Drink water. This is a threat. Have a good night, guys. I will see you on Monday. I hope you have a great Sabbath, guys. Cabbage Man, out. You want to know which one of my followers I'm sleeping with? Coyote? Coyote. Coyote. You want to know which one of my followers I'm sleeping with? I'm sure it's Potter something. Probably Ironleaf Potter. Yeah, she subbed to me, and so I'm sleeping with her. You know why? Because she's my wife. She having my babies. Everybody thought it was hot mic gossip time. Nah. Gotcha. Good night.